My name's Margaret Pratt, and I'm talking to you once again about our campaign to gain justice for my husband, Roger Pratt, who was murdered in St. Lucia just over 4 years ago on the 17th of January 2014. The latest news is that the expert witness who needs to give an opinion on the fitness to plead of one of the defendants, once again on Monday the 22nd declined to appear in court. That, to my knowledge, is now been outstanding for over a year. The case has, in consequence, has been deferred again until the 26th of March, just before Easter. I had understood that from the Foreign and Commonwealth Office that arrangements had been made to connect to a video link. The advice I've had from my attorney in St. Lucia is that that wasn't the case. He was outside the jurisdiction and declined to attend. Maybe he hasn't been paid. By the Prime Minister's own admission, St. Lucia is bankrupt as a country. It could be that he's just scared to give this evidence, because as we know from the statistics, St. Lucia is a very violent country. But it would be wrong to do that sort of speculation. What we do know in terms of fact is he's made his assessments 4 or 5 times, I think, but he hasn't been prepared to come into court to give that evidence, either by video link or in person. And each time the court gives way and defers for another 2 months. And this is 2 months where 4 people are still in the correctional facility, and 2 months further when I'm still waiting for news and action from St. Lucia. The other piece of news is that there was a hope that the Director of Public Prosecutions, Mr. Dasrian Green, would be in London to meet with a range of victims in London to try and sort some things out. I'm getting very mixed messages about that. I had really good news earlier this week from Mr. Guy Myers, who's the High Commissioner for St. Lucia in London, to say that the preparations for his visit are in final stages, and that was great news. I also understand from another victim that dates have been set, and she had been apprised of that by the British Foreign and Commonwealth Office. I've not been so apprised, so I don't know whether the Foreign and Commonwealth Office plan that I shall not be invited. And finally, there is this issue of the sensitivity of tourist marketing. I was driving back into central London on the anniversary of Roger's death to see the most enormous video electronic advertising hoarding on the M4 and Westway, showing St. Lucia as a destination. I understand tourism is very important to St. Lucia, but the painting of St. Lucia as an idyllic tourist destination, when for 4 years, I've lived with the reality that it's something entirely different from that, for it to feature on the anniversary of his death. It made me very, very sad and very indignant as well, actually. So here we are, entering into the 5th year of seeking justice for Roger. Where I'd like to be by the end of 2018 is to have resolved this case. Unfortunately, with the glacial pace and the issues of capacity, capability, competence that have dogged this case throughout, I'm not optimistic. But as with all of the victims facing similar issues to me in St. Lucia, we have to fight on, and we need to try to hold people to account, to make things happen. What we'd like to do going forward for Justice for Roger is to focus more on other people's stories from St. Lucia. What I'm hoping we'll be able to do is to post some guest blogs so that other people can tell their stories about their search for justice for their loved ones, the blocks, the experiences that they've been having in attempts to obtain justice, and the delays arising, so that we get a platform for more people to understand the violence in St. Lucia, the problems in the justice system in St. Lucia, because I'm just not the only one.